It's your girl, Kid Cactus, and today we've got some give me a high five, spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. That was good. Do you think people should like the video? Yeah, okay. Alright, now first things first, what's been going on this week in Destiny 2? Well, at the Tuesday weekly reset, you may have seen a pop-up in-game that there is a Suros sponsorship. What this actually turned out to be is a free extra modifier live in the portal that adds 25% bonus damage to Suros frame weapons. So, if you guys want to know some examples of some great Suros weapons to run, as well as some places to get some good Suros weapons, already did a video breaking that down linked up above. Now, aside from that, we also had a patch, and the most important thing that happened is that, as you can see right here, the third iteration did catch a nerf. Now, it's still actually a very good weapon, and I did a video on how it's performing right now after the nerf with its new exotic catalyst that is linked right up above. Now, you can see the other weapon changes that happened in this patch on screen right now. The most important one is that area denial frame grenade launchers and rocket sidearms were getting way less ammo from bricks than they should have, and that has been fixed. Also, Choir of One's ammo has been reduced, guys. And another important thing is that they fixed an issue preventing the armor mod distribution from being available. So that is now able to be equipped on your builds once more. But aside from that, that's kind of it for everything that happened with that weekly reset. Like, the portal doesn't really rely on weekly resets anymore. You can just grind infinitely. And so aside from the weekly missions on Kepler that did reset, remember, the first time you beat those on a mythic difficulty, you get a guaranteed tier 4. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, not really anything insane happened this weekly reset. But moving on from there, let's get into the brand new information within the TWAB. So, first of all, guys, Bungie shouts out the winners of the Desert Perpetual Raid. This contest mode was absolutely crazy, and the winners, as you can see right here, are Team Nuts. So, congratulations to them, they absolutely killed it. And Bungie also mentions that if you beat the raid at all, you have some cool new Bungie rewards waiting for you, as you can see right here. But moving on from there, Bungie actually addresses the elephant in the room. They have a massive section on the Edge of Fate post-launch support, talking about the portal and world tabs, bright dust problems, the power deltas in the contest raid, ability regen not working properly, the ammo economy, and more. Guys, it is no secret that this DLC has launched with a ton of problems. For goodness sakes, PlayStation players didn't even have audio for the day 1 raid race. And speaking of the day 1 raid, yeah, one of the biggest complaints is that all 4 bosses had 10 bajillion health that required 17,000 loadout swaps. But aside from that, honestly, I cannot tell you how many times my team had to go to orbit because we weren't getting supers from the rally flags. And then when we would finally load back in, oh great, someone has a sprint bug and they have to die and restart again. Like, it was just filled with problems, issues, error codes, and that's not just the raid. All throughout the game, people were getting soft locked, doing alt characters through the Kepler campaign, and so much more, guys. So it has just been a very rough launch in terms of technical issues and problems, and that has just been one of the biggest complaints in the community. So, here's what Bungie says about all that. First of all, they say, as things start to calm down a bit after the Edge of Fate releases and after the heart-stopping World's First race, there's some topics that we wanted to address directly today. No game launch is perfect, and on top of that, we need to add the many changes implemented in this release that some needed some time to adjust to. Additionally, we're aware that there are some missing patch notes for Destiny 2 Update 9.0.0. That's actually one of the biggest things, guys. The list of, like, items that were stealth nerfed is insane. For example, the speaker sight helmet, your healing grenade turret lasts for like half as long as it did before. They just didn't include that in the patch notes. So you're running a build that should be working and it's just not working because something got nerfed that they didn't tell you about. So that was also very frustrating. But again, they say below you'll find details on ammo and stats, but we're still investigating a handful of balance changes. Warlock, Titan, and more, and we hope to have those details coming together next week. We've been trying to keep everyone informed on these topics with regular updates from our D2 team accounts, so you may have already read some of these, but we've collected them here for anyone who wants to get caught up. So, first of all, for the Portal and World tabs, we are going to revert the desaturation of the World tab in an upcoming update. During development, we had feedback that players were confused between the Portal and the World tabs and where to find core game activities. Many gravitated to the familiar Director UI, so we chose to visually adjust it, but it's clear we may have overreacted to that feedback. Our intention going forward is for the Portal tab to serve as a quick access point to core game activities, and for the World tab to support exploration of the world of Destiny. Both are important to us, and we will continue to upgrade both. So actually really interesting that they said they're gonna still update the old World tab, right? But next up, we have Bright Dust in the Edge of Fate. They say we're going to add an infinite grind source for Bright Dust and pair it with a make good grant in an upcoming update. In our effort to reduce friction to playing activities, we chose to retire the core game Pathfinder in favor of simpler daily objectives with an improved and unlimited mini objective system planned for release in Renegades later this year. So essentially, Pathfinder was a way that people could grind Bright Dust like technically infinitely, because you could just reset Pathfinder over and over again, but they got rid of Pathfinder, so now people are like, well, there goes our source really for Bright Dust. Now they say, knowing we were removing the infinite grind source until Renegades, we rebalanced Bright Dust awards to be larger for most players. It's clear that many players also value having an additional grind source, so we will add an interim replacement. Moving on from there, power deltas in the contest mode raid. This is one of the most interesting and controversial things about this contest mode. People were doing testing undeniably proving that contest mode was well below the power delta of -25 that we were used to. You know, Fabled was -25, and people would go into contest mode and they were hitting enemies for way less than they were in Fabled difficulty, which is fine if Bungie changed it, but we just didn't expect something like this. So Bungie says, we enjoyed watching the Desert Perpetual World's First race and contest attempts and completions throughout the weekend. We also wanted to let everyone know that we are tracking feedback items and issue reports that have been coming in from the community. We're seeing reports of enemies being at a higher power delta than what the activity advertises. We will investigate, and this is a high priority for us this week. While we want contest mode to challenge your loadouts, your teamwork, and your puzzle-solving abilities, the highest end of damage has been reported to feel that it required far more than expected. Each raid we've shipped has been unique, especially at contest difficulty. This will continue. And for our players who desire challenge, do not worry. We will continue to offer it. That said, we will use feedback from this weekend to inform our future as we continue to develop these experiences. Additionally, we are looking into reward quality. What tiers rewards within the raid are dropping at within contest difficulty. It was absolutely crazy to see people beat the contest difficulty encounters, some of the hardest ever, and get a tier 1, like what the heck, and their power in relation to yours. There are always ways to increase your reward quality in normal via raid feats, and we will be watching feedback around these systems as players get deeper into them. Finally, we are aware of an issue where rally flags were not refreshing ammo and abilities consistently. The team is investigating, and we will have an update as soon as possible. Overall, guys, it's just an unfortunate thing because, you know, this was arguably the hardest raid of all time, and teams did beat it, and those teams are insanely talented and deserve heaps of praise, and like, they are incredible players. But it's just such like this dark cloud over this where Bungie actually admits like, oh, we're hearing reports that the power delta was wrong. Why would you say that if it was correct? If Bungie did this on purpose and was like, no, we're gonna have absolute damage check insanity and you have to be on your game to beat this, that's one thing. But oops, the enemies had way more health than we expected. We didn't even account for this. That just feels so much worse in my opinion. So like, it just mires this whole thing that, you know, was this difficulty intended or was it all just an accident, right? But moving on from there, we have ability regeneration in Armor 3.0. We've been investigating reports that ability regen was not recharging at the rates communicated in a previous TWID following the update. Many thanks to our community sleuths who discovered this issue. So right now, the ability stats, grenade, melee, class, and super, are returning less ability energy than stated in our previous communications. We previously stated that hitting 70 in an ability stat in the Edge of Fate was equivalent to certain the Edge of Fate values for discipline, strength, and each class's ability regen stat and intellect, and going above 70 would result in faster recharging than before. This isn't currently true for the 70 mark, but for the 85 mark. So we intend to make it true for 70 in an upcoming update. So right now, again, Bungie said, hey, you have 70 grenade stat. That's the equivalent to 100 grenade stat before the Edge of Fate. But realistically, right now, you have to have 85 for that to be true. They say, our design goal for the Edge of Fate stats is to let players be able to reach higher heights than previously possible in-game by investing heavier into specific stats. But we also have interesting trade-offs when making build crafting choices. Making the 70 stat one of the big trade-off points is important for our design goals and for meeting player expectations for build crafting in the Edge of Fate. This is a simplified explanation of the situation. Expect a full breakdown of how the stats are being corrected to be shared in the accompanying patch notes. Suffice to say, mistakes were made and we're sorry for the accidental confusion here. We intend to make it right quickly. As always, we appreciate the members of the community who noticed this discrepancy and pushed it to our attention. Next topic, ammo economy. Again, a big issue here. So they say the weapons and armor sandbox team has been absorbing a lot of the feedback this week about the ammo economy changes in the Edge of Fate, and we're eager to share the details on where we think the system is and where it will go. First, we want players to have more control over ammo acquisition, being able to know when it will drop in combat. Second, we wanted to provide build crafting options to generate ammo, with some trade-offs that we could evolve long-term with more build-craft support options. In the Edge of Fate, ammo can be built into through the ammo generation stat, mods, and perks in weapons, and the weapon stat and ammo tuning mods in the armor. Lastly, we wanted to slightly reduce ammo gains for players who don't invest in the stat at all, while providing more ammo than the Edge of Fate values if folks invest more, even enabling and supporting the running of double special ammo builds in PvE. However, we missed the mark on some of our targets, and as we've absorbed feedback from the community, we want to make some additional changes. In update 9.003, we've made a few targeted adjustments and have more coming in the next few weeks, and then even more planned in the long run. We're committed to updating and balancing this core system to promote healthy build crafting diversity and construct a fun living sandbox for players to engage in. So with update 9.0.0.3, here's what you're gonna see. Increased rocket sidearm ammo per brick. We talked about that. For swords, they fixed a bug that was reducing their ammo, and they're going to get slightly more per brick. And for area denial frames, they're also fixing those guys. They say, we're currently playtesting the following changes, which are subject to change with an eye for most to ship with update 0.04 planned to release on July 29th. So players at the lowest end of ammo investment, so 0 stats, 0 mods, will see ammo progress faster, providing more bricks. Ultimately, our initial tuning here was a bit too punitive, and we want to bring it a bit closer to the pre-Edge of Fate values while still encouraging a bit more build crafting investment to procure ammo more regularly. So they've increased the ammo per brick for some additional weapon types, buff the ammo generation stats for exotic weapons that are lagging behind so they generate ammo faster. They say in the long run, we want to address the following additional feedback items to ensure a healthy ammo system for the game. So first of all, provide a better method of highlighting ammo drops or recovering ammo if it falls off the map or into an unreachable location. Yep. Improving how assists generate ammo for players, and continue to build more sandbox combat hooks for generating ammo, enabling players to feel like they can specialize in ammo generation even for their teammates. So overall, I do actually like the system of, like, you can spec into weapons, you can put on these ammo generating things, and then you can have way more consistent ammo drops. So you can have some agency over that stuff. But again, it really worked out so that even if you were speccing into this stuff, it still felt like you would kind of run out of ammo and things would be bad unless someone was running like a Cenotaph mask or something. And so overall, hopefully they can improve that system. Moving on from there, guys, that was a big talk there. A lot of major complaints Bungie talked about there. But the next section is more activities coming to the portal. They say, after the launch week comes week 2. Most of you have completed the campaign at least once by now, got a bit more familiar with the portal and its many activities and rewards, and a few daring guardians have even jumped into the new raid. But this is just the beginning. On Tuesday, week 2 started, and on top of the weekly refresh of the seasonal hub rewards, a new set of weekly challenges, we have new activities coming into the portal. Onslaught Midtown and Onslaught Widow's Court arrive in Fireteam Ops. Okay, if they don't have bonus rewards, I don't care. On top of that, Suros Foundry weapons will be overcharged for the week, so give them a try doing some hard challenges. I do think that part is a bit cool. Now, on the PvP side of things, we have Cutting Edge, a new game mode that requires featured gear to enter, making the meta quite different to other PvP game modes. Give it a try to earn some of the unique Crucible weapons like the beautiful new micro missile frame grenade launcher. Yeah, the one that you call Arc Mountaintop. That 100% drops from PvE activities, so not quite sure what they're talking about there, but they say even if you are still busy bringing additional characters up to speed, completing triumphs, finding secrets from Kepler, and maybe fighting through the fabled and mythic missions, we recommend you try all of them and see what rewards are dropping. Increasing your power level as you play will open more opportunities to earn higher tier rewards. After week 2, there's more content coming. So here's a reminder, we went over this in a previous update, but really quickly, this week we have expert and master matchmaking options available. Then next week, the Arms Week event launches with a focus on hand cannons. Trials of Osiris is back with new armor sets and tiered weapons to earn. Then the Coil activity opens in Fireteam Ops, featuring 3 different paths in rotation to play. Then the weeks of August 5th to 19th, the Solstice event will take place. Matchmaking opens for Grandmaster Fireteam Ops. Then the week of September 2nd, Heavy Metal Briggs vs. Tanks is back. September 9th, the major update Ashen Iron launches, and dungeon content is coming. They say more details to come. So, the next big thing happening is Arms Week, and Bungie has a section on it saying prepare for Arms Week. As we mentioned above, it arrives on July 29th, so this upcoming Tuesday. That name might sound familiar to most veteran Destiny 1 players, but the approach is quite different this time. Arms Week is a 1-week duration event focusing on a single weapon archetype. In this first week, we are honoring hand cannons. So, the first step in Arms Week is to visit Ada 1, not her usual spot in the tower near the Drifter, but at the new shooting range that launched alongside the Edge of Fate that you can launch via the tower map. Ada 1 will give you a pursuit that kicks off Arms Week, as well as the brand new hand cannon, the Funutria Fera, and here is an image of it right here. So it's a brand new spread shot hand cannon. So yes, all new hand cannon archetype. It shoots multiple pellets just like a shotgun, and the most exciting thing, guys, is that this can get shotgun perks. This can get 1-2 punch. That's right, a infinite ammo primary for your 1-2 punch melee build. Very, very cool. But talking more about it, they say by playing activities with hand cannons, you'll gather combat telemetry that allows Ada 1 to build more weapons and other rewards for you, including time-limited but very powerful volatile mods that you can slot into this event's featured weapon archetype. So, Are they saying you earn special volatile mods that only go on hand cannons that you could only use for the week? What? Okay, so they then say, then with your favorite hand cannon at hand, you will also have a set of daily and weekly challenges that will be available at the Arms Week event home. And we talked about event homes previously. Completing these challenges will award you progression for the event track, which has rewards of many types, from currencies to holofoil weapons if you reach the higher ranks, but also event tokens. These tokens are essential to the event and will help you get even more rewards in the event shop. The other currency to take into consideration are reroll chips, earnable from the event track and in the event shop for event tokens and silver. So, they continue with weapons and more weapons. As you can imagine, hand cannons will be the focus also for rewards. As we teased above, there's a new solar hand cannon that's kind of the star of this event, that Phonotrea Fera. It's one of our first ever spread shot hand cannons. So Trials of Osiris will actually have another one, and it works like a shotgun that has traded a bit of punch for the ability to use primary ammo, and again they say it can get 1-2 punch. But along with the Phonotrea Fera, there's a set of legacy hand cannons to earn for completionists and Ribbontail, a new strand adaptive trace rifle that can roll with proximity power and detonation beam, among others. On top of all of these weapons, there's a new volatile weapon mods that will be earned through Arms Week. They are available for the duration of this event and can be slotted into the featured weapon type, so hand cannons. So here's what they are. You have chaotic munitions. Precision final blows produce randomized effects. Okay. Cowboy grip. Supremely improved hip fire weapon performance. This could go crazy in the Crucible. And then fragmentation rounds. Precision final blows create multiple explosive submunitions. Okay, this could be really, really cool, and hand cannons are just like completely overpowered and crazy, and everyone's using them for the entire week. Or it could just be weird and no one actually uses this, but very, very interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to this. I am very much looking forward to finally getting that spread shot hand cannon in the game. And again, getting one with 1-2 punch seems incredibly valuable. Moving on from there, guys, there's a bit more of a lore brief. I'm just going to put it on screen right now for those who care. And then we also have a combat imp lore situation, lore dump right here. And again, you can see that. Moving on from there, guys, they say the Bungie Foundation campaign update. So they talk about where they've gotten here, and there's going to be a new tournament here. Viewers on Twitch will have the chance to influence the action by voting on modifiers and upping the chaos factor even higher for a good cause. And you can see that information right here, guys. And a final reminder that here's the date. The 29th will mark the end of this year's Bungie Day campaign, so get your donations in now. And they also show this Twitch emblem is available as a Twitch drop for watching the Bungie Day chaos there. And that, guys, is going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.